Welcome back to Brobrack Madness. My name is Juan, or Señor Juan for the Cochinos, and I am covering the finale of Solo Las Más 2, and this would be technically the 8th episode. Well, I guess 9th if you count the Una Noche de Copas. And you might notice we're down one. My co-host Craig unfortunately could not be here, but I thank him throughout the season. It was a fun time, and the show goes on. So, before moving forward, I also wanted to just thank every person that has followed us, commented, done all of the above. We're a small raindrop in an ocean full of people that cover Solo Las Más. So for you guys to, come our way and something about us, even if we didn't always agree on everything, it means the world to me, and I'm sure to my co-host as well. Sorry, I wasn't crying. There was a burp coming out. So I'm going to keep the pop culture and check-in part of our show short and sweet, like yours truly. And so let me just begin with, I only have 3 items that I want to kind of go over. The first is Miss Carly Rae Jepsen has given us her next single, which is the 4th one off of Day and Night, called Motivation. It is a queer anthem. It is spectacular. Go watch the video, go listen to the song. Such a pretty song. It's so celebratory of chosen family, and my goodness, Carly Rae Jepsen's back must hurt this year from carrying the entire pop music industry on her back. She really has been a busy woman this year, having birthed her child and mothered all of us. Okay, the next one, and I'm gonna put a small little clip, is Slater. Have you guys seen 2 days ago she just bodied, and I mean bodied. When I say bodied, I mean bodied, this song by Hole, Violet. Miss Courtney Love would be so proud. So here's a snippet. Okay, but you guys, is that not incredible? If you like it all, go ahead to her channel and give her a view, because she is such an incredible artist, and she's showing us the power that she has in artists. Okay, and for my final one, it's a little bit more of a personal story. It's not like the most relevant to like pop culture. Did you guys ever think that I would have anything in common with Jennifer Lopez? Like, I didn't either, but hear me out. This last week at my lunch for work, a couple of my colleagues and I went to a local Thai food place. It was like about 11 of us. And, we're sitting there, we're waiting to be attended. And I'm sitting in front of a colleague. So we're already at this point, like 5 minutes into our conversation. And maybe it's just because she's a lot more tactful than I would have been, which I really appreciate. She kind of murmured something, and it was like, I'm gonna just do my kind of impression, just like, and I'm like, I beg your pardon. And she's like, roach. And I'm like, okay, did I hear that right? Did she say roach? And so I, in a very mortified state, decides to look down. Well, fear not, because it wasn't a roach, but there was a bzz, bzz. You guys, I walked into that restaurant with a beetle. And, I was in full panic, except for the fact that there were 11 people plus the people in the restaurant observing, and they clearly heard the whole table's commotion of, oh my gosh, they are all yelling and freaking out. So, in a very posh manner, I folded my shirt where the beetle had now assumed its new place of living. And I just thought, well, what would J-Lo do? And, with the whole grillo on her neck. And I walked, it was quite a few feet, into the front of the restaurant door. And then I released it. The beetle went out into the wilderness. And voila, I'm going to go ahead and share that Jennifer Lopez clip because I relate to it so much. Miss Jennifer Lopez, you and I, we can relate. Probably on other things too. There was one more item that I wanted to talk about. Sorry, I always do this. And that is Los Juegos de los Villanos, which we cover House of Villains. But now Telemundo is getting their own version of House of Villains in Spanish. I think I talked about it in past episodes, but we just have Laura Bozo confirmada, and I believe Celine, I don't know her last name, but she was on La Casa de los Famosos. She is the most gorgeous woman out there. Oh my gosh. Like, I am very, very gay, but she is just stunning. Beautiful woman. Anyway, I just want to say I'm really excited about Juegos de los Villanos. And what do you guys think about Laura Bozo and Celine from La Casa de los Famosos being on it? And it's kind of like, I love House of Villains, so I'm just so excited for Los Juegos de los Villanos. Let me know in the comments if you've heard of the show or you're excited or you'll be tuning in. I think you guys should all tune in. House of Villains is just such an awesome show to watch. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and talk about Solo Las Más 2, the finale. Wait, before I do, and not to pull a Vanessa Claudio, la ganadora eres, eres tú. Sí, eres tú. No, I'm just kidding. Before I pull that though, I just wanted to say that it is really easy for anybody to be critics this day and age, especially when one does not do that type of art. And I by no means have any experience. I can barely dress myself. Like, look, I tried for you guys, but I mean, go ahead and criticize what I'm wearing. Let me know in the comments what I could have improved and whatnot. Again, it looks easier when you're not having to go up there in front of a bunch of people and, you know, do this whole performance and people are just ripping you apart for every little thing. So to the Feminosas, I thank you all for your service. You guys did an incredible job this season. All of them were really good. So Mistabu, Regina Bronx, sorry, I swallowed spit. Mistabu, Regina Bronx, Raga Diamante, Deseos Fab, La Kailis, Peque Valderas, Juana Guadalupe, Hidden Mistake, and Lupita Kush. This was such an incredible season, and it was so special because of your unique gifts to the world. Even when I have found myself not being the biggest fan of some of the outfits, listen, I am realistic. And you can humble me in the comments and tell me how, yeah, I could never, would never, should never. But yeah, I just wanted to point out that I am not an expert in this. I'm just very passionate when it comes to these shows. Bruno and Carlo, thank you guys so much for your services and the talent that you guys give us. So the finale was overall about 2 hours, give or take, and that's quite a feat if you consider that it's live. There's a lot of coordinating to make sure that the next act is ready, that the next person's dressed to go on to the next, to provide entertainment so that the audience that is just sitting there live isn't getting bored. So I think on that front, Bruno and Carlo, you guys smashed it. Like, you know, again, it's very ambitious to do, and I understand why other shows don't do it, but I feel like this is what makes La Más Draga franchise, Solo Las Más, just so unique, is that sometimes it may come with, okay, well, it's feeling a little bit on the long side. Where's the edit and all of that? Edítalo, Carlo type of thing, right? But at the same time, it is really impressive to, like, I was very entertained, and I wasn't even in attendance in person. I keep telling myself maybe next year will be the first year that I ever attend. I've been watching La Más Draga since season 1, so I think I'm overdue to go to La Ciudad de Mexico to go and see this live. Let me know in the comments if you've ever attended in person, what your experience has been like, because that would be really cool to know too. I know it's not gonna be the most polished thing if it's live, but it is incredible. It seemed very cohesive. It seemed like they worked on some of the things that were issues last year during like finale. One of the things that always stands out to me is the constant feedback because, as my co-host Craig had said in a previous episode, if we're already in the semifinals and at this point we're in the finals, like we shouldn't have too much on what they have to um, improve. And I'm glad. So the retos were La Más Diosa and then 360, which was like their performance of their song. And I'm only going to talk about the retos really because I feel like there's a lot of filler aspects of it. I do want to once again say that I'm a little sad to not see Regina, Raga, Mista, and Deseos. I love their songs. I love their performances. I love their atuendos going in and revealing when they were all coming in. There's just such a beauty that La Más Draga and Solo Las Más, they capture when it's a finale. And yeah, I loved it. I loved it so much. Let's go ahead and begin with La Más Diosa. Okay, and there are no grades this time. This is just a conversation of all of them. So the first one to go was Lupita Kush. She did like a Quetzalcoatl, a Quetzalcoatl look, and it reminded me a little bit of Seafed, and I think that's what I saw in the comments too, a lot of people. But I think, she still managed to make it her own. And I think one of the things that I really like about Lupita Kush is that I can always expect that she's gonna bring variety to her, and yet she always brings her distinct makeup. I think Lupita Kush was a very dignant person to compete and also potentially win in Solo Las Más Dos. She is incredible. I loved her look. I thought she did really good. I love the pyramid. I think overall, she proved why she was there, and she proved that she was a very worthy winner too. So, I know that it's a little bit unfortunate because Seafed had done something kind of similar, but it's not identical. And the imagery, especially as it relates to pre-Hispanic aesthetics, is going to sometimes be very similar. And I'll talk about how some people kind of thought a little bit outside of the box. So I think that would be like my only thing for Lupita is like, the only thing is a lot of people are going to do something kind of similar. But I loved it. I loved it. I think she did really good. And overall, the entire season, Lupita is a diosa. So up next, we have Peque Valderas. She did the pyramid. She had like kind of like a sacrificing part where she held a heart. I'm gonna go ahead and say that while I enjoyed a little bit of the concept for Peke, I have been very used to her doing a little bit more bigger looks. I'll come back though because I feel like Peke Valderas sometimes gets very unnecessary hate. I think she's a very polished queen. I did like when she went into her Aztec warrior look, and I think she did really good. But the look overall, I would say, and I noted it down, but it was one of my least favorites for La Más Diosa. She's also a diosa, and I'm gonna reserve the positive for her performance because I feel like she gets a lot of unnecessary hate. The only thing that I guess why I didn't like it so much is her beginning part of the look was kind of like just like a bodysuit. I don't know, it just didn't really, and she showed her arms, but like in the bodysuit. So I don't know. What did you guys think about it? Up next, we have La Kailis. And as I previously said with like Lupita, there's a lot of predictability with kind of choosing like the pre-Hispanic pyramid. Again, this sucks for las feminosas because it's like the imagery, you can't change it. So it's like you're being told to refer to it. So then you have someone like La Kailis who goes up and she does this almost like alebrije type of look with the flowers, and it is a very thinking outside of the box. It's very like indigenous. There's venenito in the cactus. It is something worthy of seeing because in that moment, she really did, stand out over the rest of her competition. She kind of thought outside of the box. And I think that really kind of got her really noticed on the finale. I think she really did something really cool when she shook the flowers. There was just look after look, and it was just very beautiful and very cinematic. Incredible, incredible, very diosa. Up next, we have Hidden Mistake that came in. She had like a mask with lights, and it was like some type of god. And the only thing that was a little bit odd to me was in the beginning, I felt like I'm used to bigger escenarios from her, so it felt a little small. But what I can say is eventually she kind of expanded on it, and it just went really, really big. I feel the look kind of reminded me a little bit of like Sirena and Cifer too. And again, it's not their fault because a lot of the prehispanico looks are very referential to the same thing. But I guess the only thing that I'm thinking about Cifer is that like Cifer did like this kind of, it looks almost like video game-esque, but she is from La Casa de Arte, so totally fine. And I loved it. And there's always just something so beautiful and polished and, very well thought in Hidden's work. Again, Hidden, like Lupita, another dignant person of winning the whole thing. And I guess to Hidden's strength, she makes it just so video gamey and just so pink and cute and pretty. I don't know. I loved it. What did you guys think? And then we had Juana Guadalupe. Juana Guadalupe. I liked her thought process for this. Again, very diosa, was one of my pick, or was my pick to win the whole thing. There's just something so conceptual. Her becoming the mezcal was just so spectacular. Very well thought. I love Benenito as a rabbit. She just did a really good job of like thinking outside of the box, and I was really obsessed with the look. What did you guys think? And so then we go into the 360. And the 360 was an opportunity for them to showcase their song and put on a performance. So we start with Lupita, and with Lupita, she puts on this circus-like. I love things that are very referential of other things. So Lupita, when she auditioned for season 4, auditioned in a circus-like attire. Since then, you could see that glow up is real. Her performance, she did not miss. Okay, well, she missed a little because she there was a part where dancers struggled putting the muscles on her shoulder, but she worked it out. It was such a grade A performance. The song is amazing. Esa damita hombre, like, I'm saying that throughout the entire day. People at work are like, what the fuck is he saying? But love it, love it, love it, love it. Lupita, again, for me, I was like, she's ready to win. Give her a crown. Give her a crown. I mean, the clowns, the show of it, the color palettes. What else does she need to do for you? Like, so then, remember I was a little bit critical on Peque Valderas? I was like, Peque, please don't let us down. I've seen you live. I've met you in person. You are a great performer. Shut people up because, you didn't have a really good look for this season in terms of your personality and stuff like that. And that's exactly what she did with her performance. So she took a very she did like the norteña, but meets like space. So it was giving Belinda, Kenya Oese, and Jackpot, but with a norteño twist. And she danced, she split around, she got lifted up, she fired back at her haters. Like, Peque, this is the Peque that I am talking about. When I say Peque is a talented person, Peque is a talented person. And her dancing is incredible, her performance, her stage presence. Like, I knew that people weren't gonna boo a good show, and they did not boo her. I mean, they will boo Mista Boo, but that's because that's his thing. But not with her. It was incredible. It was way to go, Peque. I think her path to winning was never going to be an easy one, but at least she showed people, hey, I deserve to be here. I am just as talented as the rest of the finalists. Yeah, I liked it. But what did you guys think? Up next was my sesgo for the season, as they say, sesgo, Juana Guadalupe. I thought her performance was incredible. And there's a couple things there. It's cheeky, it's provocative, it's very Juana Guadalupe, the breastplate, the constant bouncing, I'm gonna show you guys a meme, and this is what Juana Guadalupe reminds me when she wears that breastplate. Oh, I know but also with like the conquistadores and like seducing them, and such a well thought out performance. Juana Guadalupe, you were my winner. You were my winner. I'm just gonna say that. Like, you are incredible. You're an incredible designer. In her performance and her 360, she really did showcase something that was easy to understand and was an awesome dancer. Oh my gosh, where did she learn how to dance so good? But what did you guys think? We're almost there to the end. Okay, so then we go to La Kylie's. Acapulco, Miss Acapulco. Oof, 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 oof. Let's go, let's go. Okay, let me start with, she starts with one of those like beach like vacation shirts that we see in any place that we go to, where it's like a more fit body over, you know, our bodies, our regular bodies and stuff like that. You know which ones I'm talking about. But you know, she came in as a mermaid. Anyway, so she went and she danced and she performed, and then there was like a, I hate to refer to like a Swedish singer that is really known right now in the US, but like Zara Larsson, it had like elements of that, but it also had like the Acapulco vibe. So yeah, the dancing was so rehearsed, so like, you know, on point. She did not miss a beat. It was really, really, really good. She put on a show like for her 360. You know, I think she went in there and she told us she was ready to eat, and that's exactly what she did. I don't know if I loved the orange shirt, because like in the background, or like the orange and yellow, because her background was like a sun, so there was like a lot of orange and yellow. And again, I'm not an expert, but it felt like very orange yellow. That's my a little tiny thing that I'm critiquing, because the entire thing, incredible, incredible. If you haven't watched it, you should definitely watch it. Her and her dancers did such a good job, and we'll come back to her, but let me move on to the next. So our final one was Miss Hidden Mistake. The first thing I want to say about Hidden is, as we all know, her appendix ruptured 2 weeks prior to this finale. They have like a month to like almost 2 months to prepare for this, but she had to adapt whatever she had been preparing for her recovery, and she still got on that stage and she performed the hell out of her song Toki Doki. And then in the beginning she was scaring me, because that wig, I'm like, okay, that wig is like a little too far back, but then she like, and then it was like, I was like, no, no, she did not just do that. She went into her aesthetic. It's very kawaii. It's so unique to Hidden Mistake. I was obsessed. I do think that Hidden could have also won the entire thing. Like, my co-hosts loved Hidden through and through, and I think it's just because there's this like element of video games and like anime that she just like constantly references. So incredible Hidden. It was so good, and especially given the fact that she had just been recovering from, you know, that appendix rupture. And to end it, she didn't just like end it like, she got on like a hula hoop, like very Dua Lipa up on the stage, but she went back down, and then she ended on a wheelchair, which is, you know, very referential to what she had been through in the last 2 weeks. And I loved it. Like, all in all, the finale to me was very strong. And I'm gonna go ahead and say this. I think while season 1 had stronger runways, I feel season 2 actually had the stronger finale over 1, because we already knew, just put the crown on Seafit. We knew that. But season 2, it was kind of like I was on edge. And I know I've been saying comments about La Kylie's, but I do have to close out. So if you don't like spoilers, I know the finale hasn't been posted onto the Solo Las Más channel. So if you don't like spoilers, please go ahead and exit out. And I just want to say that the winner, y la ganadora es, the winner was, okay, you can still check out the spoilers. The winner is La Kylie's. It was very well deserved. It could have been any of the other 4, because they all were dignant representations. I think my issue was maybe 1, I did not like that there were so many finalists as much as I loved watching all of them. And two, I felt there was favoritism for Kylie's, and I'm not gonna lie, that part really felt like she was a forced finalist. But can I say that and also say that La Kylie's nailed both La Más Diosa and La Más 360? Absolutely. She was prepared. She did everything. There was every little detail was thought through. And so I think it's a fair win. I think that there were a lot of people that are like fighting, like this person, blah, blah, blah. We all won because it was an incredible finale. I wasn't bored during this finale. I think La Kylie's very well deserved win. It's her personality. She's always in the mix. She's always saying commentary. And maybe like for Bruno and Carlo, that is a big thing. I mean, Carlo just posted on his Instagram where he mentions kind of what they're looking for eighth season. So if you have an audition and you're doing drag and you're a feminosa, make sure you submit. I think yesterday was the last day. Sorry, but they're looking for personalities. They're looking for like a combination of things, and I think La Kylie's really hits all of those things. But all in all, great show, great way to wrap it up. I enjoyed every piece, every episode, every discussion, even though this one felt like I'm here and I'm just talking out loud, but hopefully you enjoyed it. But I believe that is basically it. This is end of the chapter, and we celebrate. Thank you so much for your support, and see you guys later. Bye bye.